I think strategically the college made the decision to invest significantly in IT over a number of years. A significant investment, you know, multi-million-pound investment in IT. But then ensuring again that the support is there, that the processes are there, that people can access support easily, and that it's not a threat. It's all very well and good having an action saying, right, we're going to, you know, start using iPads and Chromebooks and whatever it is we're going to use. But if you haven't got the Wi-Fi, if you haven't got the infrastructure, if you haven't got the hardware, if you haven't got the software, then that's not going to go anywhere very quickly, is it?
The college has invested in wireless campus-wide, and we have a certain amount of devices that learners can use in class, also in the learning zone, so things like Chromebooks in the classroom, tablets in the learning zone. But also we can never keep up with technology and refresh that equipment as often as we'd like to. So there's a real need and want really for learners to be able to bring their own devices into college. A critical point was that the Wi-Fi system that we installed in college was stable, had good coverage and could manage a number of learners accessing at any one time. The Wi-Fi system that we have in place uses roaming profiles, so the learners don't have to keep logging in from when they move from one area to the other, which is key for us because some learners are doing maybe 4 different subjects in their first year, may have 4 different lessons in different blocks in that particular day. It also needed to be able to have a large number of learners using it at any time. So if we were taking Chromebooks into a class, we may have 25 learners all logging on at the same time. And the system that we've got in place really does stand up to that. Our Connect Yale project raised awareness of the types of apps that learners could use with their mobile devices. So the wireless let them bring their devices into college, but we needed to find some really quick winners as to how they could use them effectively. We noticed when we were using college systems with learners and they were typing in addresses on quite small interfaces that they were making mistakes and thinking that things weren't working properly. So we saw QR codes as a solution to actually enable easier access to IT systems. So things like Moodle, our EILP system, BKSB, Welsh Dictionary, we have posters with QR codes. The learners just have to scan them and they take them straight to that point. We wanted to make it easier for learners to access the podcasts that we've been recording of tutor demonstrations. So it was great, they were on Moodle, the learners could access it from there, but it was maybe asking the learners to go onto the computer, log on to Moodle, find the right topic. We just started at the same time to look at using augmented reality and an app called Erasma. And Erasma enables you to take a picture and for the app to actually recognise that to trigger off and do something else. So we've taken video clips from the vodcasts, taken a still frame at the various points we break it up, and the learners just hold the Erasma app up to that picture and it plays the video instantly. So it was ease of access, but also the learners were very impressed by that use of technology. They hadn't seen anything like it before, so it really motivated them into using that. Our first use of mobile technologies in college was with the catering department, and they started using iPod touches and enabling learners just to use simple things like QR codes to enable the use of technology within learning, so particularly in things like making numeracy and literacy a little bit more interesting for the learners. That then led to videos, so the catering department started to video every single demonstration that took place in the kitchen. Initially the tutors would do the videos and the demonstrations, but latterly it's the learners actually in the kitchen taking the videos on iPads. These are then shared for the learners to use, so it's a little bit like the flipped classroom concept.
Originally we started about 6 years ago with a digital technology. We produced something called a podcast originally, which was just something for a radio. It was something that someone innovated for one of their PGCE lessons, and from that we developed it towards video casts, which then we nurtured into iBooks. Through iBooks we've developed using QR codes and the introduction of iPads and iPods into day-to-day delivery of our sessions.
I believe in it strongly. I think it's great. The initial idea was that we could video during the day, and then the students would have access to the videos in the evening when they got home and so on. I use the iBooks now a bit like Padlet. So I can use them in a classroom, show the video or part of a video, and then you can zoom into pictures and so on. I've got all the text that's relevant to the video, or the dish that we've done and so on. I've ditched PowerPoint really. I've gone straight down a book route. available all across the country and so on. We've also got all the videos available on Google Drive now, so where students don't have iPads, they've at least got an opportunity to look at the videos.
Moving on from catering, we started to use mobile technologies within the construction area at Wrexham Road. Initially again with vodcasts, but then we started to look at how we could use apps to maybe help learners understand what they needed to do next to improve their learning. So we used an app called ColegauCymru Video, also used in the sports area, which enables us to record a learner undertaking an activity, play it back in slow motion, a frame at a time, freeze any point and then annotate on it and send that feedback to the learner, so they'd have a photograph with the annotations drawn on. You can also compare this with the model example of how to do things.
We always give the students a demonstration of the task that we expect them to be able to do. They stand and watch me do the demo, and I'm probably a bit fast for them sometimes. And they go away, and some of the group get it straight away and off they go, and they're able to do that task. But others struggle a little bit, and sometimes, and I was when I was a learner, sometimes you're too frightened to stick your head above it and say, well no, I didn't really know what you, and they won't ask. So we've tried to find a way of helping them with the not asking bit.
Another phase of the project was exploring how we could use apps for assisting with learner assessment. So really getting feedback, either giving learners feedback on the work that they've done, so using analysis tools like ColegauCymru Video, or by getting feedback during the session of how well the learners were understanding. So we used apps like Nearpod, which is a multimedia interactive presentation tool, a little bit like a voting system.
But we also use the video coaching, not for negative side, but sometimes I'll use it for positive. I'll use it in our video to say how good it is. I tend not to play that one over too much in class because I don't like to, I'm not after, you know, I want them all to feel, I don't want anybody to feel like a prima donna, if you know what I mean.
The video demonstrations are shared online, mainly through our YouTube channel, but they're unlisted so that you can't just search for that, so you have to know the web address of the clip to go and look at it. The video demonstrations that do go online are mainly those that have been created by the tutors, so it's the tutor demonstrating something. Where we've been videoing learners and giving them analysis of their work, it's tended to stay within the classroom. There were some concerns with the college enabling learners to use their own devices and having Wi-Fi everywhere, using tools like Facebook, other social networking sites, that might be abused in some way. But in many cases, a lot of the tutors had realised that the learners were using these anyway, before sessions, maybe sometimes sneakily during sessions, and they saw it as an opportunity to embrace the use of those technologies, teach the learners how to use them in a mature way, hopefully leading them on to the fact that when they leave college, either going into higher education or the workplace, they're going to have to be able to use those tools in a responsible way without being distracted.
Facebook was one of those things that students used whenever your back was turned, and it was becoming a bit of a pain. But we wondered whether there was a way we could use Facebook rather than be negative, be positive with it. So we set up a flooring Facebook site with the help of our ILT team, which we then encourage the students to become members of. What we've used it for, information. If I come across any flooring jobs or anything related to them, I'll bang it on and put it as a post and maybe attach relevant students. They like that because they feel that, you know, I'm giving them a service. We also use it. We find our full-time students struggle with knowing what it's like out on site. So what we do is we encourage our employed students to take photos of what they're doing and disasters maybe they come across on site. They post them and the full-timers get a chance to see them and view them. And what we found with the employed students that are posting the photographs and the pictures of the jobs they're doing is they're looking for feedback from me. I've come across this, how should I get over it? So quite often on 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning maybe, I'll get a post on Facebook which comes through from a student on site actually doing a job. Well, I've come across this problem, Steve, how do you think I should get over it? The way our ILT team set up Facebook was, they set it up that their personal information, their personal life was kept separate from the flooring side. So I leave their personal stuff to themselves and let them get on with it, and we just deal with the flooring side of it all, and it works really well.
So Facebook's been used constructively, mainly in work-based learning. For examples of sharing work, so learners may take a photograph of some work they've completed, pop that up onto the Facebook page. Other learners have commented on that, and as have tutors, so it's enabled peer assessment, but also assessment by tutors. Those examples can then be shared on a screen on maybe the one day the learners do come back into class. It's also been used to make learners aware of new resources that are useful for them, maybe jobs in the local area, again linked in with work-based learning. Learners can suggest websites, and they really feel that they're part of a community all the time, not just on the days that they're coming into college.
I don't shout, not that I ever shout at them, but I don't, I'm not completely telling them, turn it off, get off Facebook, come on, you're supposed to get on with your work. It's just part of their everyday life now. And I'll find them on Facebook. They'll be looking at usually flooring stuff related to stuff that I've posted maybe the night before or something. It's. I would say it's definitely nowhere near as bad as it was, and it's used positively rather than in a negative form.
Some tutors have obvious concerns about e-safety in relation to the use of Facebook. You hear many scare stories on the news. The college has a safeguarding steering group, and a subgroup of that we do actually have an e-safety group as well. So as well as having materials on Moodle that the staff and learners can use, we also have a very clear reporting structure, so if there are any concerns at any point, we've got a safeguarding team of 4 people who those things can be reported through to.